Nova Scotia's EMO asked to use the hall as a registration centre for residents of Portapique who had fled their homes. An RCMP officer was posted here in a cruiser. By this time, police were on the hunt for the shooter, who they knew was impersonating a police officer. At 10:30 a.m., 2 RCMP officers fired multiple shots outside the hall. Sources have told CTV News the officers thought they were firing at the suspect when it was in fact a fellow Mountie.
This program is brought to you in part by...
Why don't you get yourself some turned-down collars, Poirot? They're much more the thing, you know.
The thing, Hastings? Do you think Poirot concerns himself with mere thingness?
No, I see that.
The turned-down collar is the first symptom of decay of the grey cells.
You know, I just think if people keep pushing, I can't, first of all, thank enough all of the hard work. There's 3 fellow YouTubers who are working very, very hard with me on this one. Rage in the Cage, Steve LTT, and Just My Stupid Opinion. Just plugging them, sorry. But they are fantastic guys, really been busting their humps here. And, you know, stepping up to the plate, because there's a certain amount of risk saying certain things. And also, likewise, all of the people who are volunteering information and time, which is, like I said, over on the Discord or sending me anonymously information, it is fantastic.
Evening. Oh my God, he's out in the sticks and he's watching and he makes the intro and he loves the intro. You don't have any bias there. Steve, our buddy Steve. Good, doing this hard work. Holy shit, man. The guy's still out in the bush, you know, trying to enjoy his time, and he's still working. Gotta love people. Good news. Good news. I hope you're having a good time, Steve. You don't have to be on here, you know. Well, it's not that you don't have to. Of course you don't have to, but go and enjoy your family and campfires and fun things. Okay, the microphone's on. That's good. Good news. How's it going? How's it going? Keep up good work. Thank you. Okay, so I got 6 in here. Balls. Maybe my discussion of food last night ticked people off. I don't know what's going on. Anyway, there were a few things that happened today. I just always like so much stuff, and I'm worried that I'm just forgetting 99% of everything I'm getting. So I thought, you know, let's just try and get some of it out there. People are gonna remember it. No, I won't. Anyway, whatever. Yeah, data will be killer. Turn off. Thanks, man. You enjoyed the conversation, Dave. Dave was contributing away in about the food conversation and stuff. Okay, so I'm going to have to bring stuff up here. Point fire, Harles, who likes the banh mi, titi. Point fire, good evening. Okay, so I don't know if you guys are familiar with this lady. MAIRIN Prentiss. I think I'd actually heard of her prior to all of this stuff. I think she used to be working for CBC and for Global. There was a bit of an incident that happened a little while back. Gage. How's it going, Gage? Gage has lots of veggies growing. He's sending me pictures of his veggies. We were talking about your veggies actually last night. We were having a conversation about food, and your veggies came up. Steve, I think Steve just signed in for a brief moment. I don't know. He's going to get killed on the data. So MAIRIN Prentiss had a bit of an incident. Blue Apple talked quite. She did a video about it a while back. Those of you who aren't familiar with Blue Apple's channel, go and check it out. Let me see if I can find the video here. The one specifically, Blue Apple Channel. Wow, that's nice. Comes right up, hey, for her. She's not buried in the toilet like some of us. Anyway, here we go. Excuse me. Let's grab that link for you. Put it in. No, that doesn't sound right, does it? Okay. So there's Blue Apple's video on MAIRIN Prentiss. And MAIRIN Prentiss flew back to Nova Scotia, I believe, and was committed against her will. She was committed to the mental institution for an extended stay, and she was tweeting out quite heavily about it. I don't know. It's going to be back here a ways. And she was pretty upset, and she contacted a few people, and I thought it was rather interesting. For some reason, it just kind of stuck out in my mind. And funnily enough, then she tweets. Sorry, this is probably making people really ill scrolling like this. I'm not sure why this woman is so upset here, this fruity Nessa, but sounds like she's got something going on. Anyway, oh yeah, sorry, I went by it again. Where is it here? Okay, so I retweeted. Let's just do this. That's probably the easiest way. Is that the easiest way? Probably. Retweeted her tweet, which I thought was really kind of rather interesting. Here, Blue Apple sent it over. Gabriel Wortman was an RCMP officer, according to my sources. By his own word, about a week prior to the mass murders of Portapique, he told my sources he was an RCMP officer who was, quote, let go or let loose by his employers. More details coming. And then you've got the I keep looking. Okay. Now, I thought that tweet's rather interesting. I don't know what I'm just telling you what it is. Hey, Maya, how's it going? Not sure if, and Silver is here. Silver hangs up on me. Oh, come on, Silver. Everybody has some good points. You know, you don't listen. If people thought anything about me, I would be in the can long ago. Now, so this tweet caught my eye. More details coming. What does that mean? I don't know. She had a second tweet on it here, and she's contacting Stephen Mayer. Wortman's working for RCMP as per Stephen Mayer's reporting in Maclean's, or perhaps bluffing. He was operating outside of Nova Scotia borders, RCMP officer, prior to the mass murdering story in the Frank magazine this week. I think, did we go through that article? I think we did. Okay. Anyway, I'm just winging it. You hung up on me, dude. No, I'm just giving you a hard time. Don't worry, man. Come on, don't take me so seriously. I have that East Coast humor. Do I? I don't know. I have a bad sense of humor. How's that? So this lady, Miss Prentiss, got locked up in the, I don't know what you want to call it, an institution. I don't know if she's out. She was supposed to be there for a month. And I just thought it was really odd because she was locked up against her will. And I think it was because she flew back and she was at the airport, and then they just arrested her, and then they immediately threw her in the institution. Is it because of something she knew? I'm just throwing it out there. You know, I'm not meaning to be any kind of this stuff, you know, but just throwing it out there for your consideration. Perhaps you want to watch what she's doing. I'll throw you a link. I followed her She followed me back. Isn't that nice? I used to have a really nice Twitter account. Lots of people liked me. Lots. But now I just have like 200 followers or something ridiculous. But of course, this Twitter account is tiny. I'm surprised it's even still around. I was supposed to be lifelong banned. Any other account this account I had for a long time, and I never did anything with it. So maybe that's why. Any account I set up now, they just go on as soon as I say anything. Shh! Don't tell anybody. It's our secret. Now, so I thought let's start with that. There was some redaction releases today from, let's see if we could pull some of that up. Tim Bousquet, of course, all over that like white on rice. He didn't think there was anything too interesting. You know what? The best way to do this. Sorry, you don't have to, pardon. I'm just winging stuff. How's everybody doing tonight? How rude, you know? You just blather away and you don't ask anybody how they're doing. Sometimes my manners, I'll tell you. Open link. Let's try that. Oh, hold on a second here. This is a audio report. Uh-oh. Oh, no. So we're going to get the dumpy audio because I didn't turn on the audio thing and I didn't open it in Chrome and blah, blah, blah. Anyways, I think we can bear it. Okay.
Nova Scotia courtroom today, more legal wrangling over which details should be made public from the documents used by the police in their investigation of April's mass murder in the province. CTV's Heidi Petrachik joining us now with a look at what's happening in this long process. Heidi.
Well, Steve, today's hearing was an example of the kind of methodical back and forth nature of these types of court proceedings in which lawyers argue both for and against the release of further materials. Various media organizations, including CTV, are part of this application to have more details released from documents being used by RCMP investigators to obtain evidence. Media lawyer David Cole spent the day cross-examining the RCMP sergeant responsible for making judicial requests for things like search warrants and for the request to seal those materials initially granted back in April. Coles asked Sergeant Angela Horlock why certain redactions should remain. For example, the name of a business where a witness told police the shooter purchased a sheet of blue reflective vinyl. The Crown says that redaction is necessary to protect the business as an, quote, innocent third party. A reasoning Coles take.
Oh, I love this. I love this. I was asking, I don't think I can pull it up right now. I was asking Mr. Moneypenny today because he's tweeted that around, or sorry, put that in the Discord a few times about, sorry to interrupt. The cat, have you seen the cat he's done? I love this thing. I'm going to see if I can superimpose it. It's got to be twisted and stuff like that, and I'm not that great, but we'll try. On the RCMP press conferences, where they have the the times underneath and these absolutely shady, shitty pictures. Well, he put a cat in that's all blurry. I just think it's hilarious, and then it's got a little time underneath it, Debert at 9:52 with this blurry cat. Oh, it's hilarious. If you guys haven't seen it over on the Discord, I think it's I don't know. Maybe it's just my sense of humor, but let's continue. Every time I see these photos now, I'm thinking of that because those photos are so bad. We all know they've been shit since the beginning, right? But great play on it. Good humor. Throw it in their face. Let's keep going if it wants to.
Necessary to protect the business as an, quote, innocent third party. A reasoning Coles takes issue with in several instances. But we did learn a few things from the sergeant's testimony. We learned some DNA and biological lab results have come back this week from the approximately 250 samples sent for forensic testing as part of the investigation. And we also learned that more search warrants have been requested as the probe continues, from the original 7 to a current total of 26. Ooh. Additional redacted materials were also released by court order this morning, detailing how investigators sought the browsing records, call logs, and vehicle navigation logs from several devices and cars seized by police. Meanwhile, Nova Scotians are waiting to hear more details regarding the public inquiry that was recently announced. a subject tackled in a letter sent to Federal Public Safety Minister Bill Blair today by Nova Scotia's opposition leader.
I think once bitten, twice shy. I mean, Nova Scotians know that we have two levels of government that try to push a quote-unquote review on us. So we want to make sure that now that those same two levels of government take the inquiry as seriously as the rest of us do, and that the inquiry is what people are expecting it should be.
And we did ask the Nova Scotia Department of Justice for an update on the inquiry into the mass shooting and its timeline, but we did not hear back. For its part, the Crown for the province says that they are working on releasing more information, but they just want to do so at the right time in collaboration with RCMP investigators. Steve.
And so it continues. All right, Heidi, thanks. CTV's Heidi Petracek, live tonight in Halifax.
Okay, so I think that's rather interesting. The one thing of note that I thought was important, and I haven't gone through it because I haven't actually seen the specifics yet, was let's see, what was it to do with the cars and the condition of the cars. So this one's always been a question for me. I don't know about you guys. The truck. And now that we have those pictures of the truck, right? Or the one white truck, I don't know. Is there something interesting to that? Possibly. Is there not? Who knows? I'm not gonna speculate on that one. I do agree with you, everybody who says about the crazy. We're all a little bit crazy, right? Well, I am. Don't mind me. Okay, now, Mr. Moneypenny is talking about the cat. The cat. I love the cat. It's so funny. Makes me laugh my balls off. One of these days, I'm going to be a eunuch because of that. Did you say a sticker? That sticker 12, the only sticker Griffin provided? Maybe. Rest of car has already had stickers. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Wow. Yeah. See, I don't think that was a fake car. I think that was 100% a real car. I think this cop stuff is starting to bleed out. And anyway. Okay, now I just kind of wanted to also run through a few other things. Some of them rather big, some of them, they're mostly for your consideration. I am not trying to dox anybody at all in this story ever, because I don't believe in that. But investigating stuff, if you guys have the chance to get screenshots of things and stuff like that, I think you're going to find things are going to start disappearing. They seem to already. So. Let's okay. I actually made a list of things. I'm so disorganized. I never know. My brain is like shiny things. Okay, Nick Dorrington. Right? People are all over the Nick Dorrington thing. We had Steve, which is too bad. He was in here. Hello, Will. Greetings from Saskatchewan. Watch all your vids from the start of this fiasco. Admire your passion, dedication to the truth, exposing corruption. First time I've commented. Welcome, Will. Everybody can say welcome, Will. Good to have our brethren and sisters from across the. How do you say sisters? Brethren, sister kind, sister folk, people kind. From across the country, because everybody, this is an important story to everybody, and they know something's wrong. Now, Nick Dorrington. Now, can we open up her page? I couldn't, funnily enough, find it. Maybe, well, I can. That's not true. That's absolutely not true. But because I was aware of it. This kind of stuff I never know if I should talk about. That's why people over on the Facebook are like, oh, that guy makes me want to vomit, because I'm sitting there, I'm like, I don't know what I should say or not, because I don't like doxing people. Now, let's start with, if somebody wants to link her page in the, I can open it up then, because it's on my phone. I can open it up then on my computer, which would be helpful. Let's start with a company called D&D. Enterprises. Okay. Everybody familiar with D&D? Where are we now? Are we here? There we go. D&D. Anybody know of a D&D? D&D Enterprises. Okay, this is out of, where is this out of? Oh, surprise, surprise. New Brunswick. Okay, new D&D. Now, doesn't look like anything special. You can't find anything here. If you go to the, here, you're not going to find anything. You can put in the number. It doesn't seem to get any return status. I don't know what the hell that means. Maybe you guys can, I'm just going to leave some of this with you guys. You guys can look at, see, it just doesn't like this stuff. I don't know. You get this and then, oh, pay some money. Well, you can go and take that money and I'm not paying you. But you can go around it somewhat. So I like to do that. Let's go over here. So here is the Royal Gazette. This amount announces kind of, oh, I don't know, kind of companies and things that come into corporations that come into being and stuff like that. Okay, so let's look up, D&D. D&D Enterprises. There we go. Thanks very much to a anonymous source for this one. There we go. We've got Nicholas Andrew Dorrington and Dawn Michelle Dorrington. Hey, G. We got Dawn in here. So this is their company, D&D. I have a little bit of a little Tweety bird that told me something about maybe this is a security consulting firm, possibly. Might want to look. Maybe there's something interesting there. D&D Enterprises out of New Brunswick. Okay. I looked at the name. I kind of thought about the name for a little bit. And of course, we've got Nicholas Andrew Dorrington and Dawn Michelle Dorrington. So could it be Dawn Nicholas Dorrington Enterprises? Could it be Department of National Defense? Does anybody have a link for me, please, on the Facebook? Hey, 3-star. GTO Mama. Nobody, does anybody have the link on the Facebook? I can go and dig it up if nobody else does. Howdy, howdy, howdy. 3-star. I haven't seen 3-star for a little bit. Let me see if I can find it. Okay, fine. I'm going to make my life difficult. Is that what you're doing? Now, let's start with this. That was the best way to do this. Okay. So there's pictures over on Dawn's page because Dawn has a page. Steve apparently spoke to Nick. Lives out of Truro. I do have an address apparently for a Nick. I'm not going to dox him. I'm not going to, obviously, I don't agree with that. Please don't do that. I would highly suggest that's not a good idea legally anyway. To get into that, possibly, looking at things is fine, but going over to his house or giving him a call, probably not the wisest thing. No judgments on Steve, none at all. Where were we here? Do. Somebody got a link for me? Anybody? Nobody? Okay, whatever. Maybe somebody will please dig that up. That would be nice. This is a picture from there, okay? This apparently is Nick. The metals interested me. I asked around. Somebody, again, good anonymous person. I never know how to say, if you guys want me to specifically identify you, I will. I like to give credit because everybody's working together. But this person did find exactly what these metals were. So I thought we could kind of run through what they were. Let me go here. We'll do that. Let's do, how are we going to do this here? We'll start with this one. It would be nice to be able to show you the picture of the metals side by side with that picture so that you can see what they are. The first metal apparently is not identifiable by this person quite yet. So maybe, and I think they're starting left to right. Left to right. The second metal is a special service metal, SSM. Okay, so we'll have a look at that here. These are, funnily enough, a lot of them are Canadian Forces medals, looks like. So any of you in the Canadian Forces? Oh, who's in the Canadian Forces? Somebody in here. Somebody who's been helping a lot. I'm not going to call them out. They might want to be able to help. Okay, so here we are with the Special Service Medal. Let me just make sure I don't want to give anything. Okay, so it absolutely is. They're 100% right. That's what that is. Okay, so if you look at the picture, the second medal from the left here, you've got the what do you call this? Wreath kind of thing. It's got some special name. Applet around the maple leaf. Okay. And that's this medal here, the Special Service Medal awarded to members of the Canadian Forces for a service performed under exceptional circumstances, defined locally and specified duration, not necessarily in the theater of active operation. The medal is awarded to persons who are not members of the Canadian Forces. Okay, so this one is not members of the Canadian Forces. I think he is, though, a member of the Canadian Forces formally. Medal of Secrecy. Goodness me, oh my. Goodness me, oh my. Does that person want to say they know? I'm not going to call them out, but I know that they know. Now let's go on to the second one. And it's got, does it have bars on it? Okay, it does. It seems to have a bar on it. I don't know what bar that is. I don't think I can read it. But it does have some special designation because there's different bars. You can get Pakistan, peacetime, alert, don't know what that is, humanities, Ranger, NATO, and Expedition. Okay, moving along. Next medal. Very good work by this person, by the way. Now the third medal from the right. So that's one. This one with the blue and this kind of thing. Let's see here. Sorry, I don't want to give away who this is. is a Canadian Peacekeeping Service Medal. Let's have a look at that. Find Canadian Peacekeeping. Peace. Uh, 66. My God, how many of these? Well, this man should feel very good because he's going to get all his medals recognized. What? That doesn't work. Fuck. Okay, here we go. Thank you. Canadian Peacekeeping Medal. Awarded 30 days of honorable service in peacekeeping theater or in direct support of peacekeeping theater. Holders, peacekeeping, peace bar, Canadian SSM, all United Nations missions, except for the Korean War and certain international peacekeeping missions. Qualify personnel who do not hold any specific medal also qualify if they show the support missions in theater. Canadian Forces, RCMP. Okay, Canadian civilian police are eligible. Okay, so and I don't think there's any kind of special designation to it, so we can't tell anything about that. Sorry, I'm just trying to watch what you're saying. Also, maybe it's a secret squirrel medal. Yeah, the secret squirrel things are coming out too. I'm getting a bunch of stuff about that now. Those damn squirrels, they're always around. Let's go to number 4. Let's have a look at number 4 here. Okay, so we've got, I don't know, looks to be like a, I can't even tell. My eyes are terrible. Okay, but you got the gist. Shears Lennon 2.0. They're all terrible. They're all terrible. We're going to learn this. Number 4, United Nations UN Pro Medal, Protection Force Yugoslavia, 92 to 96. Not sure at all on this one, but it's the only one that I could find that looked correct, was what they stated. Let's see if we can get... what are you doing? I don't want to print anything. No. I guess that's in here. I'm not sure what this link is, but apparently it's in this picture. Funnily enough, we have the last one there. Okay, so these are all actually police so far. Let's see if the last one is in fact police also. So I may have misstated. My apologies. Canadian Forces Decoration. This one was the one that kind of threw me off. So let's have a look at that. Oops, couldn't find that page. Go fuck yourself. Look at this, seriously. Uh-oh, that number. You got barrels of acid. Yeah, there's some things going on there. Let's see if we can type it in and find what it is. Canadian Forces Decoration. Anybody know what that is? Copy. Let's do a search on that. Okay. So it definitely looks like it. I guess this was the place I was at and was telling me it doesn't work. Okay, here we go. No, that's because I was looking on a different browser. Canadian Forces Decoration is awarded to officers and non-commissioned members of the Canadian Forces who have completed 12 years of service. This decoration is awarded to all ranks who have good record of conduct. The decoration is awarded to regular forces, reserve forces officers, cadet, Canadian Rangers, and holders of honorary appointments of the Canadian Forces. Service in regular and reserve auxiliary forces of the British Commonwealth nations, counted towards the medal the final 5 years, the Canadian Forces, so So I think from reading, unless you guys have, I'll leave a link for this down here. I like the ones that aren't broken, the ones that they permanent, like just kind of scrub. Those ones are great. I should put up that story once I did. It'll probably get me my channel banned. Anything I seem to pull down from my old channel banned, like they don't like it. The video gets banned, and then I'm on right now sitting on a warning. So, which apparently has no expiration date on the warning. I guess I'm just living in this limbo. I'm just a badass. So I don't, oh, wait a second here. Wait a second here. Wait a second here. Wait a second. It does maybe apply, it also applies to police forces. On the left breast, suspended from the ribbon above, after Royal Canadian Mounted Police Long Service and Conduct Medal. So possibly this applies to police officers. So it sounds like they've done a lot of peacekeeping overseas in some capacity. They used to award CDs for UN peacekeeping missions. Yeah, okay. Waiting. What are you waiting for? I don't like to keep people waiting. Acid wash jeans. What am I keeping you waiting for there? I don't like to keep you waiting there, Gage. With all his veggies. Beautiful veggies. 5 gallons of beans, he told me. 5 gallons of beans. Had a fantastic visit with him. Gosh, he's a good guy. Okay. Also had a great visit tonight with Paul and a couple of other sources that were really good. So thank you. Now, that's the medals. That's D&D. D&D, interesting name. D&D out of New Brunswick. His daughter is out of New Brunswick, from what I understand. Those of you, again, I would encourage you to go and screen capture anything you think is pertinent off of Dorrington's page. I'm not trying to dox at all. In fact, I could say I'm trying to glorify all of the heroic service this man did. So that's great. Thank you very much for all your service. But I think if you want to find anything, again, on that, you may want to save whatever you think is interesting off of that page. Now, does anybody know anything about the relationship between cesis, squirrels, spinning squirrels, no, not squirrels. Definitely squirrels could be involved. That was another thing we could sew in here. The picture last night of Baldy, Big Baldy, and Bum. If you guys remember, where was that? Big Baldy and Bum. Big Baldy and Bum. Oh, no, that's not the one. There we go. Okay. There's Bum, if you guys weren't around. Okay. And we've got Bum, or Big Baldy. Here, Big Baldy seems to be quite an important man, and as does Bum. And this is down at Enfield. And Bum has a silver badge around his neck. people seem to be deferring to him. Also, later on in this video, it's just a brief shot. They also seem to defer to this big baldy. And Bum's badge, trying to identify Bum's badge, you can't really, it's tough. However, the color of it is silver, and RCMP badges, I'm told, I'm just going with outside information, are gold colored. So there actually isn't a silver colored badge. So who is this? This actually brings in the squirrel element. Is this CSIS? Is this possibly a CSIS person? And somebody very kindly went and did that again. I don't know if I should identify that person, but they do very good research, so I trust what they're saying. They sent pictures. Let's see if I can get some of those pictures maybe, and then I don't have to dox them. Never know in this day and age. I'm not trying to do any of that nonsense. How do you do this here? Okay, over here. Having an interesting conversation. So this is the typical RCMP badge. Probably won't show color really well in this. This is gold colored or bronze colored or some, it's not silver colored like Bum. And thank you. Yes, thank you. My name. Okay, so good. We have some validation on that. The Halifax, I believe this is Halifax Regional Police badge, looks like this. Now that's silver. Oh, good. The color is kind of showing up, and it's actually focusing, which is not too bad given the amount of coffee I drink. And then we've got the CSIS. This is Fredericton, because I'm thinking this may come out of either these people may be out of New Brunswick for some reason. This is the auxiliary police out of Fredericton, which they do have a silver badge, and they also were able to track down Truro Police, which is a silver badge. And I think, did they find the CSIS badge? So, but I have suspicions on whether, because they didn't want anybody else, right? They really didn't they wanted to keep it in-house as much as possible. We had the Kinsella article with the source, whatever that was. Let's see if we can find that. Kinsella. RCMP. Source. HRP. Okay, great. Wow. Sometimes, searches actually work. You don't need 17 million terms. Okay, so this is an interesting article here. Source: Halifax police held back response to mass murder, and this was by the RCMP. They basically told the Halifax Regional Police to go and stuff it. And this is from a source within the Halifax Regional Police, which they who wrote this? Bousquet. Excellent. So okay, he did his diligence as much as he could to verify it, and apparently. If you go through this article, because when is this written? May 4th. There are things that have been verified subsequently that this is true. Big Baldy is the script editor. Okay, that's great. Blue Apple's in the house. Oh, hello. Yes, I put out your video on there and told people to go over and sub to your channel because I know you've been covering this, and I did check out that video when you put it out initially. I think I put some comment underneath it or something. So very interesting story with her tweets. Now, does she know something? Is she suffering from maybe some mental problems? Who knows? But mental illness seems to come into this. I know of two people. We all know of, obviously, Clinton. Very tragic, very tragic. And I think, frankly, the RCMP pushed this guy into more mental illness than he had to begin with. I do believe, yes, he did have some mental illness before this, which is really hard. You know, in this world, it's not actually unusual. But what he experienced that night, and then the RCMP, I believe, constantly telling him what he saw was not true. As in, you know, you were on the beach, you're gaslighting this man. And he's like, no, I know where I was. This is supposition on my part, but I think it pushed him over. Because for some reason, they want him to be on the beach with Corey in the warrants, right? And Clinton, of course, sealed down immediately and then came out with that video, very sad video about how he was suffering all kinds of problems. There's also another person in this story who I will not name, who got pushed into the mental illness basket and actually was hospitalized. And they did speak out at the beginning of this story. So was that because of the events that they witnessed? Could be. Could it be prior existing conditions? Yes, I would say they had some prior existing conditions. However, I think some other things have happened, would be my estimation, because there seems to be mental illness always comes out, right? Catherine Galliford, prime example. She actually very, very high up in the RCMP in BC. Darren Campbell's ex-wife, the one, I mean, that is a major story. One day somebody's got to really blow up, is Catherine Galliford and the relationship between her ex-husband, Darren Campbell, and his rise in 2 years with 2 promotions, very big promotions, after she was labeled mentally ill and alcoholic because of coming out and speaking about the Aboriginal task force over there in BC and saying, well, I'll testify. And they just had to shut her down, you know, and call her crazy and all this other stuff, and then boot her out of the forces. So, well, then she can't testify, really. And then Darren Campbell's getting promoted. So I think that's rather interesting. You know, if one of their own members, and they do this to their own members, this is not the only time. Don Matheson speaks about this quite a bit. If you guys aren't familiar with Don Matheson, let's see if I can find something on about him. I don't know if you guys know about him, or some of you do, some of you don't. Obviously, some of you do. In fact, I know one person who leaves messages on a fairly regular basis, obviously knows Don Matheson. In fact, they say they know Don Matheson. I would like to do an interview with him one day, Don Matheson, but I'm not very big at reaching out. So he's got a video. I'll drop the link in here. This is his video. Oh, video unavailable. Isn't that interesting? What news? RCMP don't just have one badge. Their badge changes over the years. There are silver badges too. Okay, if you have it, like, obviously I would love to see pictures. You got the badge. You are now the arresting officer. I don't have a badge for anything. Okay, but thank you. I don't really want to be a police officer. I'm not qualified to do that kind of thing. Let's see if we can find something else. It obviously looks like he's spoken to Global. Wow. Interesting how things search, eh? Kind of a bit sad. Here we go. There's the ghetto bird over here. I don't particularly live in the ghetto, but nice to know my city is turning into a shithole, or has been a shithole. It's been a shithole forever, but it just keeps going down. Oh, no. Have you guys ever read the, those crime, what do they call it? The crime index numbers? Oh, my goodness. If you study that, I did a video about the crime index numbers and the crime in different cities. I did a series of them. And the crime index number is probably one of the biggest shams. If you actually try and go and research how they compile that number, it's about 4 pages long, mathematics, very complicated, and it's basically how do we lie to you. And there's only, I think, 3 or 4 people who truly understand how to do this number. But that's why you see, they're like, the crime is going down, the crime is going down. Statistics Canada finally put out something a little while back and said, the crime is way out of control, which of course, but they gaslight you. They tell you, no, there's no crime here. Nothing to see. Move along, please. Don, I don't know. Okay, let's try on the Googles. Maybe on the Googles we'll get a little bit more returns. Could you fuck off, ghetto bird? Because it's really annoying. Seems like I live in a toilet or something. I do. We all do. Let's be real here. Let's see here. Verify it's you. What is this? What is this? You can go fuck yourself, Google. These fucking... No, I don't want to give you my password again. Piss off. Okay. I don't care. Whatever. We'll do something else here. Okay. Can you just fucking go back to something? What is going on here? Are they coming to arrest me? Maybe they're coming to get me. That'll be good. Watch court cases start hitting you in the ass all over the place. I got lawyers on retainer. What do you got? Okay. What are we looking for here? Don Matheson, right? Don Matheson. Are you guys familiar with Don Matheson? RCMP. Here we go. Former member of RCMP. This is from the Salmon Arm. He was a long time member of the RCMP, and he speaks out heavy against the RCMP. He's got signs on his property, lives on the highway. I apologize for my city being a toilet. That's that article. Former member protests RCMP brass and buries. Don Matheson believes internal problems. This is back in 2017. He's been doing it for years and years, and big. He's really active. He dyes his beard. He puts big signs on his property. He's very active. Lack of leadership, intimidation, cover-ups, uniform members as scapegoats, toxic system culture, sexual harassment. I found a whole bunch of new ones that have just come out on the sexual harassment stuff. Maybe we can plug into that in a moment. Lack of discipline and bullying. Those are some of the major problems. And former officer Don Matheson of Enbury believes. Really? That's not gaslighting there or anything. Really? Maybe somebody in the chat is undercover. Well, that's a known. That's known. They can also go and fuck themselves too. Sorry for my foul mouth. At the top levels of the RCMP, and those problems adorn the A side of his one-man protest sign, which Matheson carried for nearly 4 hours outside the Vernon North Okanagan RCMP detachment on Thursday. He's got balls. He's got big balls. Trust me, this guy. The protest is about what's going on inside the RCMP, said Matheson, 75 years old, who served his entire 12-year RCMP career in Alberta. Oh, I thought he served longer than that. That's weird. It's not what the public is creating against members. It's what the higher ranks and federal government is doing to the members inside the force. It's all internal, which of course then just bleeds out into everybody else, right? Oh, well, hello, Marin. I do hope that you are well. And I'm very interested to see what you have forthcoming. Very interested. Yes, special prayers for you. This whole story, all of this stuff. I mean, this just not good. Our world is not in a good place, but we can get it. We can get it together. Matheson has walked with the sign in Armstrong, Kamloops, at the BC Division headquarters in Surrey. Surrey, of course, the major epicenter of the RCMP, or what do you want to call it? That's their big, huge contract. If they lose Surrey, they lose almost everything, because Surrey is a massive amount of money that they can pull. Yes, welcome to Marin and special prayers. So everybody, if you can say, there you go. See, look, we've got such great people in here, such great people. You don't have to be a believer or anything like that. You can just send good wishes and thoughts and to people. We don't need to necessarily know each other this is the way the world works now, right? So do please send your good wishes and thoughts to her, because we all need the strength, and that's it. When we're a little bit we're getting bashed around or a little bit down, we got people here to pick you up. And it's not that I'm not going to be in need of that. Here's probably at some point too. Your ex was undercover a lot. Dawn, is this what you're looking for? Yes, thank you. That is what I'm looking for. Okay, I'm going to stop the chat there at that point. Thank you very much, oh dear. I appreciate that. We can get back into Nicholas Dorrington in a little bit here. So, well, actually, do we need to go into Nick Dorrington anymore? Let me see here. I don't think so. I just would say that the ties to New Brunswick are rather interesting. New Brunswick keeps coming up, right? Keeps coming up. We had Mr. Wortman in New Brunswick that day. There's a lot of New Brunswick officers coming in. They called in New Brunswick. This is all New Brunswick. Helicopters are extinct in the Maritimes, just got grizzly country. Yeah, no, they just call in the D&D. Friggin' video is lagging again on your channel. It seems these days you are hitting the nail on the head, disturbing them. Yeah, well, at least they're not shutting it down. Shut it down. I've got to shut. They used to shut my videos down. That was terrible. Anyway, Vernon was the fifth stop on this one-man protest, coming 2 days after Vernon North Okanagan Detachment requested 6 new officers at a cost of $1 million, roughly, from the city, which heard that morale of the local detachment was low due to heavy caseloads. He's very active about speaking out on behalf of the RCMP, which is good, because there are a lot of RCMP who are getting absolutely hammered. Excuse me. It's a good rank and file, and they get drugged through the mud. And then again, see, this is back to the same thing that I was just saying a moment ago. When people are getting battered around and stuff like that, we have to be there to help pick them up. That's our incumbent upon us, just as human beings. I believe. Maybe you can call me crazy. Maybe I am crazy, so that's fine. But I like to take care of people around me. It's very important. So if they're getting battered around and used as scapegoats and stuff, that's not a good thing. And they're really getting it right down there now, right? Because there were so many good officers that wanted to do their job, and they see, look at this trash they stick on the side, gambling, and who is that person? I don't even know. Who cares? Council must say we can't afford them. Council may say we can't afford them, new officers, but when you realize what's happening inside the force, you better afford them, he said. You need them. The public needs them. Okay. And remember, this brings back a lot of the quotations about how they're a danger to the public. This is from former RCMP high-level officers who say, high-ranking members. So these are the people who are like former at the top. Of course, they are afraid to say anything because they're going to get mowed down too. This is the environment that we live in. Why? Why? Because they open their mouths, they say the truth, and all of a sudden, well, you can't do that. No, actually, you can. I think. And they are, so that's good. We got to support them. More support, more courage comes out of people. The other side of his sign lists 4 derogatory words which spell RCMP, and he describes best as national force. Matheson, reprehensible. Should be okay. Oh, really? You're gonna fault him because he misspelled it. Okay. Complacent, manipulative, and persuasive, or pervasive. Pervasive. My apologies. On Matheson's jacket are 5 commemorative buttons: a Canadian flag, 125th anniversary of the RCMP, the Canadian Army button, and buttons that remember 4 officers killed on duty in Mayerthorpe, which of course was a total foul mess up. Yay, thank you, Amy. Keep sending that love. Keep sending that love. And the ribbon that commemorates the 4 officers, or the fallen officers who died in the line of duty. He starts to break down, his voice cracking, tears wells up. This man is very passionate about what he believes in. And you know, when I hear passion, I hear truth. Because people who are liars and things like this, they have stone faces because their heart is stone. It's gone. Something has gone wrong here, right? And here. Maybe they've sold their souls. Who knows? But when you hear passion, that's somebody who's still alive and still wants, better in this world for their kids, for the future, for themselves, for their fellow man, right? Which is good. I like this business about being able to be selfless. Very important. People want to tune out on that one. Okay, that's fine. Don't want to hear about selflessness. No, that's okay. As he mentions, 36 former or current RCMP members who have committed suicide. This is a very serious problem within the RCMP. We had the fellow who liked to smoke marijuana, and he killed himself. He had a legal prescription, and they just absolutely raked him over the coals because of his PTSD, and he killed himself. Yeah, that story I went through a long time ago of that one individual that they. I'd love to talk to Don Matheson about that. I don't know if you guys were familiar with the story. I did. I don't remember what it was. No, I don't want your offers from Samsung or whatever the fuck it is. You can fuck off too. Sorry about my language, Marin. I'm not exactly the cleanest individual at times. What was this man? Name? George. No. Kevin Gregson. Very sad story, Kevin Gregson. Anybody wants to look into that? I don't even know what happened there. Maybe he just lost it at the end. I don't know, but he seemed like a good individual. And thank you, May. Thank you. Hello. Not much of an academic, are you? Well, who is? Well, I like to go to school, but it's a pretty crazy world out there. Anyway, but they're smart, and then they're smart. You don't need to go to school to be smart. And MAIRIN accomplished. CBC Global. Come on, producer, reporter. This is what we're talking about here. Excuse me. The silence in this country is deafening. Nobody is standing up for the officers, he said. Matheson graduated from Depot in 1960. Depot, different people pronounce it different ways. I think it's Depot. 1963. It was in 1974 that he was stationed near Grand Prairie that Matheson left the force after losing faith in the judicial system. We had 103, quote, we had 103 impaired drivers in the Peace River subdivision out of Grand Prairie, and 97 of them got tossed out because of an alcoholic judge. Nice, said Matheson. Quote, he got transferred to Edmonton, sobered up, and became one of the best judges in Alberta ever had. On appeal, we won 97 of those impaired charges. You see, like, why is he practicing and a sitting judge as an alcoholic? Probably he needs to go and get help. I don't know if they've changed that policy or not, hopefully. Yeah, because they call that mental illness and stuff now, right? Being an alcoholic. I understand alcoholism. Anyway, moving along. He worked in the oil industry and kept in touch with his colleagues throughout the years. During his protest, he also heard from officers and the public at large. Quote, the public reaction, I would say, has been outpouring, said Matheson. People really care. I love that when I hear that. Still need to change my title page to exactly. Boom. Oh, boom. Balkanization. They always go on about it. They like booze because the world has traumatized us all for so long. Sad. This is why people have problems. But we get to this, no problem. Throughout this whole COVID stuff, no essential service, booze. Got to keep people boozed, because then they're not. Where did I put my cigarettes? Never a good thing if Seamus loses his cigarettes. There we go. Sorry, moving on. Thank you. That's an absolute point. There you go. Yeah, totally true. Totally true. People really care. But we get too far into a discussion on the sign I'm carrying, and they can't handle what I'm telling them. You can't handle the truth. It's like they don't want us to. They flaunt it in our face. Yeah, okay, lying is bad, but don't worry about it. Quote, people say, we trust Don. He'll talk about what we tell him without saying who we are or what we tell him. He having served, it's part of me. I agree with that. That's why, it's really great, because people do talk to me because they know I'm generally not going to go out there and plaster it all over the internet. There's trust. You have to build trust. Trust in this world is a dwindling item, but it doesn't have to be. Just try and live as honest a lifestyle as you can. And I did see who was in here. We got our friend Paul. Had a good visit with Paul today. Very good. He's a good man. Asked if he feared repercussions or being taken as here we go again. See? Crazy old man. This is the way to dismiss people. You're just crazy. Don't worry about it. You go off, you go to get some drugs. We'll get you fixed up on that. What do the drugs do? They just tune you out. Tune you out of what? Tune you out of telling the truth? Tune you out of making points that are true? Send you off to some home where you're locked up? What are you talking about, man? If somebody isn't hurting somebody else or hurting themselves, why are they in a home? Locked up against their will. Unbelievable. Good night. Good night. Special prayers. Quote, you can't stop an individual from doing what he thinks should be done. Bang. Conviction. Unbelievable. Blue's out too? Are we out? Blue? Good night, Blue. If I missed you, sorry. My apologies. I'm slow. Matheson is hoping to meet with the top brass of Vernon Okanagan Detachment to discuss his concerns. And of course, probably we know where that went, right? That went in the same thing as we're investigating. We're looking at this. We're doing that. Silence hole. Don't talk to us. Don't ask questions. How do you like that line? Don't ask questions. You can't ask questions to family or shut it down. Those press interviews. You can't go. You can't come here anymore because you ask questions. You know what? We don't like those questions. You're not playing on our team here. Fuck you, man. Get out. You work for us. The whole system works for us. The whole system is us, and it's got a problem. But you see, Don is very, very, very passionate. This is how passionate he is. You know, Shoe Swap Man takes pink shirt day to step further with pink beard. He has some great interviews. Watch him. And I don't know why some of these things are being made private. I don't know. Probably this is the normal YouTube way of dealing with things. Positive intent moment is coming up. I'm not sure what that is. Okay. You lost me, but everybody else understands, so that's fine. What does it matter if I do? Now, let's get into some other stuff. Does anybody have any knowledge of Frank Dorrington? Frank Dorrington? I'll give you a moment. Excuse me, to answer that. I'm going to go. I'm going to go grab a coffee, and we'll see if you guys come up with something for Frank Dorrington. Whether there is a relationship between Frank Dorrington and Nick Dorrington. I believe that there is, but I'm not exactly sure. Okay, let's see here. Nobody's got anything here? Everyone has mental challenges. Of course, this world's doing it to us. Doesn't mean that we're, bad people. Just because other people, we're more in tune, probably. I need sleep, but when I get up, you guys will still be here. See you in the morning. Night, Amy. Okay. Nobody has anything to add on the Frank Dorrington thing? Okay. Frank Dorrington. Frank Dorrington is an interesting character. Of course, look at what you're going to get on the Google searches for Frank Dorrington. Right? You don't get a lot. But here you go. Okay. Google doesn't like people looking at certain things. Frank Dorrington is a very interesting character. Ex-Mountie sentenced for sex with witness. A former RCMP officer who once headed the Atlantic Region's Witness Protection Program. Okay, this guy, real powerful. Witness protection? Sound familiar? For 4 provinces. Big gun. Was sentenced to 6 months of house arrest yesterday. This is back in 2006 for sexual assault. Frank Dorrington had sex with a woman in the program on 8 occasions over a 6-year period. Dorrington claimed the sex was consensual, while the victim believed she had no choice because she was being protected. This is a gross abuse of power. I don't know if this person is related to Mr. Nick Dorrington. I'm not trying to shame them. Well, their actions, if in fact, as it is, they were found guilty, are shameful, beyond shameful. It appears as though he was found guilty of it. People do make mistakes and things like that. Obviously, I make lots of mistakes, but this Dorrington stuff, I don't know. Now we can find he owns a contracting company. Now, sorry, which fire hall is being burned down? You guys all got your conversations going. Okay, Frank Dorrington. Here he is here. I like the description. Very interesting. Frank Dorrington joined the team in 2006 after retiring from the RCMP after 20 years of service. Did he retire? That seems like a bit of a misnomer, does it? To me? Anybody else think that's a bit of a misnomer? That he retired? Because it doesn't seem to match up with that. (2006) and right away he's retired. Don't think he retired. I think he got found guilty of some things and did some bad things. Nobody finds this interesting. I'm surprised. Okay. So he just his innate ability and management skills, extensive communication, human relations background, I guess great human relations background. Frank, a natural born organizer, easily managing timelines, budgets, blah blah blah. Okay, so he did his stuff and he moved to Falls River, where his family lives. So Falls River, Nova Scotia. Thank you. I don't know what unions talk is going on here. Okay. They gave him the golden handshake. Oh, for sure. Like I said, go and check out that other fellow. He was getting absolutely rammed. What was his name again? Sorry, I can't display my files. They're too much for people, I think. Kevin Gregson. Okay. Here's an article. Which one is it? Yeah, I like this one. And I'll tell you, you look into it, it's weird. It doesn't really make sense to me. Possibly just totally is a bad guy and went off the rails, or maybe something else happened. I don't know. I think I archived this because I think it may have got deleted. I don't know. They like to delete things, of course. Not good. But I went through that story before, so I'm some time back, so I'm not going to really go through it again. It's quite long, involved, many articles. So I'm not sure if you guys know if Frank is related to yeah, they're one and the same. Communists and capitalists are one and the same. Who's that? Very great professor. Wrote all about it, proved it. Unbelievable proof he had. IBM funding, big capitalist money, funded communism all the way through. Started with Wall Street money and went all the way through with Wall Street money. So it's just a sham they build for you, this paradigm of left, right, and communism, capitalism, to give you the impression that something else is happening. But I'm talking on bigger stories than Nova Scotia, so we won't go there too much now. So I'm not sure if Frank is related. I believe when Steve called, I could give him a call right now and see if he answers. I don't know. What time is it? 11? As I would rather hear it from the horse's mouth. Let me see if he's around. I don't want to disturb his holiday because I really don't. He owns a construction company. It is called FD Consulting Roofing. Okay. He also was, funnily enough, involved with the Flight 111 rescue. Interesting. Let's see if we can get some information on that. And of course, the Witness Protection Program, which I find highly interesting. He heads the Witness Protection Program. So we've got a lot of interesting characters here going on. Are they related? How are they related? I'm not exactly sure. Now, I could get into this other stuff, which is... let's see if we hear back from Steve. Let's take some of your comments. There we go. 99%. I don't want communism. I don't want capitalism. It's all just trash. I want something fair and honest. People returning to a good place. What do you guys believe it would work to dissolve capitalism and the big lie? Oh, goodness. That's a very big question for another day. I assure you, I will get into those kinds of things if future, but I'm not going to do that on YouTube because YouTube will spank me all over the place. Not my place here. And still got to finish. Who's penis? What? I have no idea what that comment is, Tommy. Very strange. Okay. They actually do witless protection. Well, it appears maybe, just maybe, Lisa Banfield is in that program. I believe the next article coming out from Paul, I don't know why I haven't phoned him, but it will be more geared towards Lisa. Okay, I'm not hearing back from Steve. So I will just say hope he has a fantastic time. Hope you are. This is how slow I am typing. A fantastic time on holiday. Okay. This other stuff is rather big. Not sure if we should get into it yet. She's having sex right now. Who's having sex? Lisa Banfield? With the person who's organizing the witness protection program is extorting sex out of them. Here's a nice Me Too lawsuit. Oh yeah, we could look at the new lawsuits I saw for sexual stuff. They're actually really new. Sexual harassment, RCMP. They got hit with a bunch more brand new ones. Where the hell did they go? Recent news? News? Okay, here's one. Actually, this is you paying for this nonsense, by the way. Awesome. Dana Larson, $1 billion lawsuit. Dana Larson, she has some, let me just double check. I believe she has some videos on the YouTube, on the something tube, which I won't say. Let's check. I believe she did some stories with CBC. Did she? Well, we'll just read this one. I thought I must be getting confused. Good night, night, Cage. Thanks for stopping by. I'm gonna get him on the phone. I gotta get him on the phone, dude. Just call. You know. Tens of thousands of police officers, employees, contractors, and volunteers are suing Canada's tens of thousands. Yum. This is Georgia Strait. It's not a, total rag. Tens of thousands. Awesome. Over the past, what is this stuff on the side? Go away. Is it hair growth or something? Oh, dental stuff. Dental implants. Oh, isn't that interesting? Over the past 4 columns, we've seen systematic problem of intense sexual harassment directed towards female police officers. My, that's loud, whatever that was. Of intense sexual harassment directed towards female police officers from their male colleagues across Canada. CBC does have some actually very good stories, even though I'm not a massive fan, obviously, but They do have some great stories on YouTube of RCMP sexual harassment. I do have a file somewhere of stories and videos that I did get from them. Very good. So I would encourage people to go and watch those. Pretty sad, pretty horrific that our employees are behaving like this. We've seen how female officers are often inundated with unwanted porn, sexual advances, assaults. They're actually raping them in there. That's really bad. Abuses of power and gaslighting. Seems common, right? Oh, yeah. No, you don't have mental illness, but we gaslight you. Awesome. From co-workers and senior officers. Then this behavior bleeds out into our society. Because it becomes normalized in this system. Normalized. So if the police, who are supposedly these lauded individuals, you say to your kids, the police are held to a higher standard. They're good people. And here they are doing this kind of shit. And then they believe in their own mindset, these real bottom dwellers that need to go and live on an iceberg by themselves with their friends that are like that, they then push that out on society and also, more importantly, corrupt other RCMP officers. So the behavior becomes normalized. This then normalizes it in society. It's quite an interesting way these things work, right? Just like the lying. You keep lying all over the place. You tell, politicians lying. No, not a funny thing. Not funny. You lie, we fire you. We've seen how internal complaints are ignored, abusers are protected, and how people who complain are the ones who get punished, right? And in tragic cases, there have been suicides. Absolutely 100% real. Please research it. Very sad. Northumberland guns and bikes worldwide. No coincidence. Northumberland. Very interesting. What we haven't discussed is the massive payoffs, the RCMP. Massive payoffs, the RCMP. Excuse me? Who's making the payoffs? Who? Last time I checked, the RCMP worked for me. Worked for you. So does the federal government. Who's paying? Who's paying? So we actually pay for shitty behavior, for rape. This is pretty awesome. Don't worry about it. It's okay. Excuse me? No. I don't support that. I don't support that. I don't support this shit that is in this world, that is in this country, that is no. It's got to stop. Has been making to their victims and the billion-dollar lawsuit that they currently face. In 2016, the RCMP began paying out. This behavior was going on for a long time. Certain people in here, I won't obviously identify, have spoken to me about the abuse of children, sexual abuse of children, sexual abuse of women, inside, outside. We had the women who go to the RCMP and they say, well, my partner is threatening me. And they just say, you're crazy. Go away. Look up in Truro. Start hammering those women's groups with that. Break that one down, because it's gonna come back. It's going to come back, trust me, and bite those victims' families in the ass terribly. Began paying out over $100 million to women RCMP officers who had suffered sexual harassment at the hands of officers and superiors. Nice. This is how you get to the top. You rape your way, and then we pay for it. And then we pay you. And then if you actually do get in trouble with organizations like the shit or whatever, right, which is just RCMP anyway, and other fellow police officers, well, you know what happens? We'll just go on extended leave. Maybe we'll pay you for desk duty. Maybe we'll leave you out for years. And there are hundreds of officers who are just literally sitting around for years on disability or whatever the hell they paid them. So we just pay them. We've condoned this behavior. No, actually, I think, funnily enough, very, very good way to get rid of this stuff. You throw them in jail. Do you know how fast that would clean it up? Oh, he's a former RCMP officer? Oh, I know you. We got friends here. Boom, boom, boom. Like Chimos. That's it. Going down. 2019, they had to add another $50 million to the fund. The fund. How big is this fund? Do you know how much they keep paying out? Crazy. RCMP to get more money to sexual harassment lawsuits. Supplementary estimates. You're paying $50 million more to these hundreds of millions of dollars. Oh, we don't have enough to pay for a raping. Sorry, we need more. Don't worry, then you can go in debt more and you can live your life shittier and the world just keeps collapsing all around you. Sorry not to be a ray of sunshine on this one. Trying to be a ray of truth. You have to say it the way it is. Otherwise, that is mental illness. It's called disassociation. Go and get drunk. Go get high. Go on pills. Or pretend it just doesn't happen. Watch a hockey game and don't worry about it. Start talking about the weather. No, it's happening. Our world is fully in the toilet. And they keep telling you, oh, it's great. Your life is getting so much better. Really? Frankly, I remember, maybe I'm stupid, but I definitely remember when I was younger. The world was a hell of a lot better. And listening to elders, their world was better, but it was still going down the drain at that point in time. This has been going on for a long time. Federal government is promising to give RCMP more money to cover historic class action lawsuits after more women originally expected than expected. What? Than originally expected? Excuse me. You know how many should be expected? That's how many. 0. You come and put a hand on my girlfriend. Watch how fucking fast you're going to get put down. No. And it should be that way in the RCMP. Fellow officers should be taking care of their fellow citizens. But that's because it's corrupt. And it starts at the top. And then they look up to these people and they know, how do I get here? Well, I sell my soul. I just let myself go more and more all the time. Lying's fine. Raping's fine. It's okay. Just tell that woman she's crazy. Send that one away. Oh, she died. That's too bad. Doesn't matter. Go into court. We'll lie about it. Oh, we got busted. Don't worry about it. It's fine. Busted in court lying about, like, do you see the chain reaction, the Susie Bootland case? Oh. Code of conduct. What kind of code of conduct do you have? up there at the top. What do you have? Code of fear, code of garbage, code of evil. These are our employees. Today, Treasury Board President Jean-Yves Duclos tabled supplementary estimates to the House of Commons, which includes a top-up. A top-up. Here's a little bit more of your money. We'll just throw a little bit more. That's okay. Don't worry. What are you looking for? A link for something? I'm sure Don will take care of you, whatever it is you're looking for. Each victim is eligible for a payout between $10,000 to $220,000. This is so backward, man. I'll tell you, I know something about this on kind of a personal level, which is really tragic. Really tragic. It involves a woman who was getting raped at her work by her boss for a long time. Really messed up her head. Lot of bad things, which I won't get into, happened in her life as a result. And it's affected her kids. Terrible. And you know what they want to say? They want to say it's a WCB claim. That's their defense. Workers' compensation. Excuse me? And then a golden handshake, which isn't really golden. It's pretty tarnished. It's nothing. I'm like, people fall off of scaffolding. That's workers' compensation. Being subjected to years of rape, that's not workers' compensation. Do you know who did that? Oh, that was our legislature here in Alberta. Yum. This is what politicians think is good, because companies say, we don't really want to pay any money. We want to normalize this behavior. It's good to have that. You out of your fucking mind? Back in 2016, set aside $100 million to cover claims. Supplementary estimates give it... What? This is just so wrong. The RCMP originally expected about 1,000 people to submit claims. By the end, they received 3,000 or 3,000, more than that. Now, am I saying that there are not some people in there who aren't sadly taking advantage of that? There will be, because there's good and bad in everything, right? But I'll tell you, the environment that these red serge wearing, Stetson wearing, parade musical ride bullshit. They should just have like a show of rape for the tourists. And then they could show them the truth, the mental illness. No, I'm not in Nova Scotia. I think I'm getting an honorary ass kicking from Nova Scotians on my pronunciation. No. I live in Alberta. I just have Fran who got fucked over. Her family got murdered. And I'm pissed about it, frankly. We have to stay focused as much as we can. Eye on the prize. They'll get you off on 17 million different things because that's what our world is. Overload of data on so many different things. And our minds aren't built to handle that much trauma. If you want change on this one, please, I advise politely and just humbly, stay with Nova Scotia. You will see something very, very big unfold and a system collapse. But if you start going into all kinds of other stuff, which we can get to, we can get there. But not, you have to pick your battles one at a time. This momentum, look at where it's already carried. One premier down, it's gonna go. There are a lot of players in it, though. $1 billion. Unbelievable. Meanwhile, February of this year, a $1 billion lawsuit was certified against who? You! Fuck off! This is not true. That's you. That's your employee. Very, very, very misbehaved employee who needs a spanking. Not the RCMP. That's you. By sitting and being quiet about this kind of stuff like we have for decades, well over that, we condone this behavior. We say it's okay. Do you know what that does to the social fabric of society? And then we look around us and we're like, why is this happening? I'll tell you why. Open your eyes. It's not the RCMP. That's you. This is your money. This is your employee. These are your employees, your fellow man who's getting raped. What's going on here? Bullying, intimidation. I think nobody's talking down there. Paramilitary. Yum. I think they were writing something about the tanks and shit. I love the people's responses down there. Really good. They're like, you don't need this stuff. You don't need big tanks. You're part of the problem. That people are carrying around big guns and criminals are behaving like asshats. Big guns existed back in the 50s. People were running around with switchblades. Cops had 6 shooters and billy clubs. England was able to have officers who never even had guns. Still to this day. I think Iceland don't have them. They have them in the safe in the back of the car. You have to phone in. It's like a nuclear code. I need the gun because there's something bad going on. We'll give you the code if it's proper. Then you don't have people getting shot all over the place for no reason. You don't have people who have it in their mindset, oh, listen, I can go around blast people for no reason. 2 people, 2 cops, two shot an old man. 73-year-old man because he didn't wear a mask, and they tracked him down to his house. He wasn't doing anything. He'd already gone home. No, we'll go there. And 2 of us will shoot him. Does that make sense? And kill him. And then you have the store employees who did it, who say, okay, that's fine. You know, we did the right thing. No, if that was your grandfather, you would most certainly not say that. If these are your brothers and sisters getting raped, you're not going to say this is fine. It's not about being a victim. What it is about is being strong. Actually, even though they tell you everybody's got to be a victim in this world. Oh, you've been victimized for this and you've been victimized for that. You're goddamn right you have been. It's not a place that you go and sit and wallow in a corner and drink away. No, you stand up and you say, I'm not going to be a victim, actually, and you're never going to do it to me again. Bring it on. I'm not going to get into the other part, which I was thinking about getting into, just because this has gone on for a long time, and I don't want to bombard you with too much. Keep looking. You guys are doing great over there in the Discord when you're on topic. Who am I to say, right? But there is a plethora of issues. You're going to have disinformation in here. That's part of it. Just remember why you came, right? Why did you come? Because you know something's wrong. You want to stop it. You have to take it one step at a time. But this one, I've studied these things for years, full time, many different things. This particular real, practical, not theoretical, not just the research, is doing damage, big damage, and people are afraid. Right? Good night. Good night, Harles. Yeah. But again, you see, it's all over the map. And that's why it becomes too much. And then people are like, well, this one and this one and this one and this one. You got one right here that will take them down. Do a serious blow, and then you just keep doing it one at a time. And more people come forward, and they're going to be like, okay, I'm going to do this one. We're going to have a movement over here, and we're going to take this one on. This one on. This one on. And that pile of trauma, that pile of hurting people, lying, deception, absolute moral defunctness will grow smaller and smaller and smaller and smaller. And the people, the very small group of people in this world who are doing that to you, will lose. And they will. They will. But it isn't, I count on somebody else to do it for me or whatever. Who are you going to count on here? Are you going to count on the RCMP, literally? Or a police service? No. They have their own problems. And they need help. They need your help. There's something changing in the mindset of people, and they're beginning to see the intention, not the mistakes. They're not getting as overloaded with the trauma. They're being able to step back and say, I just don't want it anymore. I don't like to see my fellow man getting hurt, because you know what? It's going to be me next time. And I sure as hell hope that somebody's going to be there, because I don't think what I've got right now, this system, is going to help me. Because it isn't. It's going to hurt you, because that's the way it's built. Built by that small group. Moral defunctness. You like that? Defunct of morality. How's that? Is that better? My English is getting poorer. Everybody's doing such a fantastic job. I'm so impressed. Mindset changes. Yeah. Exactly. Please keep it up. Be strong. Be good. Live your life like that. It bleeds out, just like this is bleeding out. We all can improve every day. I make plenty of mistakes. Somebody told me they appreciate the value that I stand up and I say that I'm wrong. Well, how can I get better if I'm not one to say, whoa, hold on a second here. How do I not do that again? I don't want to do that again. I want to get better every day, every day. Maybe one day. But until that day, I'm going to not stop fighting. I'll never stop fighting. Neither will you. And they're afraid of that. They're very afraid. Which article were you looking for? Sorry, Karen? I'll get that for you, and then I'll bid you an adieu. The world is fiery. The world is fiery. You're fiery. That fire is causing those people to be a fear. Fear. I like that. I don't like making people afraid, but I like making evil afraid. I want evil gone from my world. You were reading a bit ago about money and lawsuits. Okay, yeah, I think I can get that up here for you. Why is this? Wow, I've got all kinds of interesting things here going. Well, you know what? We'll just find another one. Stay with the RCMP. Stay with Nova Scotia. Keep it small. Pick your battles. RCMP, sexual harassment. $1 billion. Dana Larson. How about Dana Larson? Google doesn't like to keep things There we go. There's lots of articles that are related to this. I haven't read them all, but there you go. That's the article. Okay, so take good care. I'm glad we got to sit here and chat a little bit. I wish I could chat and not have like monologues. You know, I love hearing other people. This is how I grow. But this I guess we'll have to do for now. We will be doing more of those Zoom meetings, which are really great. Thanks very much to Steve, because that's his that's on his dime, that one. So really appreciate that, and we'll start doing those kind of on a more regular basis. Maybe we can try and get a time that it is always, and then that way oh gosh, I'm not doing anything. But thank you. Let's appreciate that. And then that way we can all, because those things are really great. I think the last one we did was 6 hours the other night. It was really fantastic. And, you know, people are coming in, they're quiet, they're shy, but then, you know, people start talking and we start looking at different things and learning stuff. And it's pretty awesome. So I do hope that, you know, I know it's weird and, you know, you don't know people and stuff like that, but they're just like you. They want better. Friends. That's right. Friends. Friends are friends if you want them to be friends. If you're willing to let them in, that vulnerability, you know, and there's levels. Sure. Nobody wants to get fucked over. And there's people who will do that. There's shit out there. There's shit in our Discord. That's the way it works. Good and bad and everything. But bad generally gets dismissed. It has a funny way. That's why I don't like censoring people. Because then, you know, I get very angry when people are censoring people. I want to hear maybe something that I'm going to learn from that person. And if I shut them down or somebody else shuts them down for me, then I never get to hear it. And that person goes away and they feel upset. Maybe their points aren't right. Who knows? Maybe my points aren't right. But we can just learn and grow. Learn and grow. Learn and grow. Not such a bad concept. Why are we hurting each other? Who's hurting us? Frankly, I don't think it's anybody here. Maybe there's one in there. Maybe there's two. Who knows? I'm not saying that. I'm not saying that in particular. I'm just simply saying the vast majority don't, but they want you to hurt each other. They want you to divide. They always have. That's how they win. Just keep cutting people down. It's called balkanization. That's why it was always in the bottom line of my information. Stop the balkanization. Don't fall prey to it. Don't. Because it's part of their plan. Very integral part of their plan. If they don't balkanize you, suddenly you become a mass. And a mass, well, that's not so easily handled. Good group. Salut, are you out? Good news, good news. Well, I don't know about wise. I've listened to some good people over the years. Maybe a couple of things came in here and there. Maybe I'm a total nut bar. I'll just keep listening to that voice inside, because it doesn't seem to be doing the wrong thing, and it seems to help, just like all of you are doing together. This isn't a Seamus movement. What the fuck, man? This is a line, holding hands, picking each other up when we're down. Right? I take orders. I don't take orders. I just listen. All right. Okay. You're tired. And I don't want people to be tired. And of course, I somehow got into a bad system of starting late again. It's because of my sleep. I don't sleep very well. So sometimes I nap and I keep crazy hours. Anyways, good night, all. Please be good to one another. Give your kids a good hug. Open that door for somebody else. Say thank you, please. Like you always do. Take good care. God bless.